Three-time District 3 regional place finisher, third is freshman year, second is sophomore year, and runner-up is junior year. And a three-time state qualifier, placing fourth last year at the state tournament. Last Friday, Cole Wilson became only the third Northeastern wrestler to accomplish this feat of 100 wins. Jake Payne and Blaine Yinger both got their 100 wins in their senior seasons. Cole is the first Northeastern wrestler to do this as a junior. This feat has not come without hard work and dedication throughout his years on and off the mat. Preseason, postseason, wrestling and working out. Cole shows what doing it in the best wrestling state in the country. Cole placed second at the South Regional Tournament last week. And the rest of the Northeastern wrestling team. Yep. Beautiful.
Next, we'd like to call up Coach Chuck Maxfield and Coach Bob Pace to introduce girls basketball.
Before I get into the varsity season, I'd like to thank my assistant coaches, Bob Pace, John Hall, Mike Gibson, Joe Enrique, and Christian Neister, who was also one of my former players. So it was nice to have him come and assist me on this journey. I'm going to let Coach Pace talk about his girls and the headaches they put him through the season.
JV was a pretty good season. We had our ups and downs. Probably our low point was the loss to Redland. But by far the high point of the season was our last game victory, where Abby hit a 3 at the buzzer to win it. So overall, it was a good season. I think the girls learned a lot. We finished 13-7, which was pretty good. As Coach was talking about, I think when the season started, I had a little bit more hair, so you see what happened to that. But overall, they're a really good bunch of girls. They work really hard, and I look forward to the future with them.
Varsity season, we actually, our record doesn't reflect the heart and the hard work that these girls put in. We had 6 wins. We missed districts from about 2 wins, but we probably lost 5 games by 2 points. So we know that we're right there on the verge of doing great things. We beat some tough teams like Manheim Central. We pushed Susquehannock to overtime, the very last game of the season, so we know we're right there. We're going to get into a couple of the personal awards. First, most outstanding offensive player. She was one of the top scorers in the county. We had 2 of them. They both just happen to be sisters. But this one goes to Jordan Jennings. Yep. This next award is kind of close to the heart for two different reasons. One, I'm a defensive-minded coach, and I love defense. And no matter who this player we put on, we put this player on, whether the player was 6'5" or 5'3", she defended him. Cameron Maxfield, who isn't here, she's probably at work. But Cameron was also selected to play in the PA versus Maryland All-Star game up in Harrisburg. Next award we call the Bobcat Award. This award is an award that goes to the girl that we know would pretty much run through a brick wall for us if she had to. She put in a lot of effort, did what we asked, and no matter how long she was on the floor, she gave it her all. Lorelei Hartsfield. She not here? This next one is the most improved player. This one, me and Coach, we sat down, we thought, and it was actually a tie. These two girls really exemplified leadership, hard work, dedication, and did anything to help boost their team to the next level. Mackenzie Redding and Jenna Gross. I also like to thank our managers, Anne Marie and Jamie, who did a lot for us, videoing, running clock at practice. My boosters, Amy Baker and Lori Myers, who don't even have girls on the team anymore, but still come back to help do everything possible. I think they're actually at the junior highs end of year celebration at Laser Alley, having fun. So I actually get to beat up on these girls tomorrow night at Laser Alley. So now I'll hand out the certificates. Anne Marie, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name. All right. Jamie Santiago, Gretchen Turner, Mackenzie Spickler, Mackenzie Redding, Carolyn Popsichaw, hopefully I got that one right. Abigail Johnston, Jenna Gross, Eve Burnham, Zamora Altland, Megan Elzinga, Mackenzie Gross, Maddie Hall, Jordan Jennings, Logan Jennings, this one here is special because she went through a lot. Beginning of the season, we weren't sure whether she was even going to be here with us. Audrey Johnson. We also had another injury. She tore her ACL in soccer. Katie Snellbaker. What's your name? Congratulations, ladies. And the good thing is everyone comes back next year, so we know we're on a rise. Thank you.
Somebody watch Anne Marie.
Because Pam really gave us these.
We got to take a lecture.
Next, I'd like to call up Coach Lisa Rensel and Coach Megan Coleman to introduce the cheerleaders.
You JV first? Whatever. You can go in order on your...
Good evening. I'd like to introduce you to the varsity squad. Emily Bale, Bree Camacho, Tori Chant, Julia Davis, Aaliyah Drake, Jade Photo, Maddie Graham, Britt McCarty, Lexi Pomeroy, Ajani Powell, Heather Seeger, and Marlacia Thomas. And on our JV team, we had Bailey Chase, Abby Clipp, Cassie Krebs, Jen Cross, Julie Cross, Dina Dang, Desiree Erickson, and Ariana Schaefer. And another team that we don't necessarily mention and recognize as much, I would like the following girls to step forward. We had a competition team again this year, and on our competition team was Emily Bale, Brianna Camacho, Bailey Chase, Tori Chant, Abby Clipp, Jen Cross, Julia Davis, Aaliyah Drake, Jade Photo, Britt McCarty, Ajani Powell, Ariana Schaefer, Marlacia Thomas, and not to exclude Julie Cross for all of her aside help. These girls have been practicing on and off actually since June. It's a very young team. We've had a lot that have never competed before, had absolutely no idea what they were getting into when it came to competition. They weren't sure what to expect. This was definitely a growing year for us. We were plagued with injuries and didn't do as well as we liked, but we're grateful for the girls to put the effort and time commitment into it. When it would have been much easier to say, I'm just going to walk away, they were willing to work hard and fight for things when even after a couple of hours prior to competition, we had to change routines due to injuries. This is a challenging task for all of them. Their success was in accomplishments such as hitting harder stunts and getting excited about getting that accomplished, as well as continuing to improve every time as a team. These girls are looking forward to next year's competition, and we are excited to work with them again and see them continue to prove in the competitive spirit world. And just to drag it out and make them stand up here a little longer, we're going to talk about varsity. Each squad is unique, so what can I say about varsity? Well, we have several different personalities that make up the squad, from very outgoing to very shy. Nothing with this group was off limits. I know way, way more than I needed to know sometimes, or that I cared to know. They need to learn a lot of material in a short period of time. I'm constantly asking them for new dances at every home game, and when you're playing 2 and 3 games a week, that gets very tiring. I'm constantly looking for new cheer material. So they were a group that was definitely willing to learn. They wanted to do that. They wanted to produce new material all the time. Now, with their willingness, I would also have to say, while this group has a willingness to learn new material, I also found out as a coach, there's this window of time that they remember it, and then there's a window of time that they don't remember it. Yes. There's also a team where when it would have been just easier to say, I'm going home because they lost a classmate, they pulled together and bonded as a team to get through the day. That says a lot for this team, right? Okay. And when we're up against some unruly fans and sometimes some unruly cheerleaders, while they get very frustrated, and some of them have to be held to the bench a little bit more often, they don't lower themselves to the other standards that we know we don't want, and that makes us very proud of them. And one of the next things I could tell you about this team is, as a parent, you always want your child to respond. They want us to respond, but they don't always like to respond very fast sometimes. I've learned over the season, if this has any response to food, I get an instant response. The response time is incredible. So that's a little bit about this team. And now I want to just go with, I have 2 seniors up here, and I want to mention a little bit about them. Senior Jules Davis came to us, not real experienced with cheerleading, but experienced in a gymnastic world. So she was definitely new to this background. I think as a squad, we would say she's never a quitter. She can be in a boot, she can have a foot that's twice the size it should be, and she's still going, I can go up. No, you can't. No, you can't. So we appreciate her drive and her ability to continue through sometimes painful moments. And my other senior, Heather Seeger, who exemplifies leadership qualities. She's involved with making decisions, discussing things with the coaches. She doesn't complain, and I never needed to ask. She just would go and get things done. So for our seniors, we appreciate everything you've done for us, and we wish you the best next year in college. And as a team, I asked them to describe just a few things, and I'm not going to drag out all their descriptions, but some of their words were weird about their team, strong or undescribable. But at the end of the day, it summed up that while things aren't always easy, we work through things, we have fun, and we came together as a family. Thank you.
I'm just going to talk quickly on my JV team. You guys did great. I actually had pretty much an entire brand new team this year. I had 1 returning girl from last year. The rest of mine got moved up to varsity. So for me having all new girls, they stepped up to the plate, did what I asked them to do. We had a lot of learning to do since we only had 1 returning from last year, trying to come up with new cheers, trying to remember some old things. But I'm very proud of them. They stepped up when they needed to. They did what I asked them to pretty much usually right away. A couple times I had to repeat myself, but they know better now. And from there on, they've done a great job this season, and I'm very proud of them. So looking forward to next year.
And our final team for the night, I'd like to call up Coach Dan Shaberly and Coach Rusty McCullum to introduce the swim team.
Keep moving down a little bit, if you can. So we just had our team banquet a little bit ago, so I will keep this short for you guys. Really quick, thank you to Brian Stevens. Brian's a huge supporter of the swim team. It wasn't too long ago that the district was talking about closing the pool down, like 6 or 7 years ago, and he came to my wife and I and said, hey, we need to start doing swimming lessons. And since then, we've had, counting this upcoming session of spring swimming lessons, we will have had over 3,000 kids take swimming lessons at the pool over the last 5+ years. We started back in the fall of 2013. And the hope is that it's going to continue, and then the swim team will continue to grow. So thank you to Brian for all your support. Thank you to all my swimming and diving parents. They do a ton of stuff for our swim team. Team dinners before swim meets. They plan their banquets, senior night, and all that kind of stuff. So thank you. And thank you to my 2 assistant coaches. I just said in our banquet, it's hard to believe that Rusty McCollum used to be a basketball coach, and now he is honestly one of the better diving coaches in the state of Pennsylvania. And thank you to Adam Ellis also for all he does. He's just a volunteer that comes and gets to the pool when he can. Thank you for everything that he does as well. Our final record for this year, the girls were 4-3. They back-to-back winning seasons this year and last year. The boys were 2-5. We were 0-7 2 years ago. So we've gone up. We had a winning season last year. It came down a little bit, but I knew that was going to happen. We lost a couple good swimmers last year, and we were moving up to Division I this year, which definitely made a difference. So next year we have 8 or 9 ninth grade boys in our swim club, and that's going to definitely benefit the boys swim team for sure. There's another great group of kids. They work hard. They complain a little bit, not too much, but they do work hard. They get to practice. They follow the team rules, everything that they need to do to be successful on the swim season. I like to brag about our grades because our kids do so well in the classroom. We have a number of seniors that are top 25 in this year's graduating class. We have 9 academic All-Americans of 14 seniors. To do that, you have to have a 3.7 grade point average in 7 semesters of high school. The girls swim team this year, after the second marking period, had a 3.781 grade point average, and the boys had a 3.757 grade point average. So that qualifies them for the gold level with the National Interscholastic Swim Coaches Association Scholar Team. So. This year we had 4 county champions. This is the most we've had, at least in my 16 years of coaching. Hunter Bachman was the county champion in the 50 freestyle. Maddie Taylor in the 100 freestyle, and Abby O'Leary and Stephen Bartlett were county champions both in diving, girls and boys diving. So congratulations to them. Abby O'Leary also placed second on this past Saturday at the district meet, and she has qualified for states. And Stephen placed 5th on Saturday and qualified for states as well. We swim this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Hunter Bachman, Levi Morgan, Maddie Taylor, and Lauren Mummert will swim on Friday and Saturday at the District 3 Championships at Cumberland Valley. Our award winners that I just gave out for the boys, our MVP was Hunter Bachman, and the girls is Maddie Taylor. And our coaches award went to Abby Dare. We call her Self-Discipline Breeds Excellence Award. So congratulations to them. Just want to take these. Just slow them down. Actually, I need them because I can look at them. All right, so I'm going to recognize our swimmers real quick, swimmers and divers as we go through. You guys could just come up here, and Rusty will give you. Yeah, and you can just walk down. Why don't you do that? So our first senior is Abby Dara, Rachel Eckenrode, McKenna Fitzsimmons, Courtney Hoff, Pearl Hunter, Katie Mummert, Lauren Mummert, Abby O'Leary, Kennedy Payne, Rose Rush, Katie Schaefer, Bryce Taylor, Maddie Taylor, Ronnie Wolfgang, Emmy Rao, Belle Hunter, Kayla Dacre, Chloe Bartlett, that's really simple. Hunter Bachman, Stephen Bartlett, Alex Clifton, Ben Clifton, That's Alex coming right there. Darren, Nebraska. Casey Helmizi. Jeff Hudak. Almost done. Levi Morgan. Alec Payne. Caleb Regal. Alan Tatlis. Casey Toman. And Wade Wolfgang. Again, thank you to my parents. I can't stress how much of a help that they have been throughout the season. It's great having them. Thank you to my 2 assistant coaches. Thank you to Brian also for all his support and everything. And thank you to the administration. It's nice having the assistant superintendent's kids on the swim team. That's all I can say. So thank you all very much. You can go down.
I mix up the footprints on purpose. I didn't realize. Yeah. I mix up the footprints on purpose. I didn't realize.
All right, that's all of our sports teams that we have to recognize tonight. Just in conclusion, a couple other things I wanted to go over. Like I said earlier, we have some 4-year letter winners and a couple of our sports that I'd like to recognize. And also there's a plaque for each of you in the back at the awards table. Those 4-year letter winners are for girls basketball, Cameron Maxfield. You can clap, yeah. And then the rest of them are swimmers. We have Courtney Hoff, Katie Schaefer, Lauren Mummert, Katie Mummert, Alec Payne, and Jeffrey Hudak. So congratulations to those 4-year letter winners. Also in closing, I just want to thank the student athletes. I know that I don't get to everything. You don't see me at everything, whether it be practices, games, meets, whatever it may be. But I always know what's going on, or I always get results. We're fortunate that we have a superintendent and assistant superintendent that spend an ungodly amount of time at our extracurricular activities. And I want to thank them for their continued support. But quite honestly, as student athletes, you make me very proud, the way that you represent yourself, the way that you compete. I just can't be more proud of you than you're my own kids. And it's funny because I tell people all the time, I have three boys that have grown up in this Northeastern community setting and have looked up to all of you for so long. I wouldn't ask for better role models for my kids than what I have, particularly with my winter sports this year. Also, I'd like to thank the parents. I think, in the light of what goes on in society, or looking at what goes on at other athletic events, case in point, look at what happened at York High last night at a basketball game where there was numerous arrests and things going on. I want to thank you for your behavior in the stands at our events. We didn't have to kick anybody out or arrest anybody. We went through the winter season without incident. And quite honestly, that's an accomplishment because you're all confined in these tight little spaces. And, as winter goes on, everybody gets a little grouchier. I know I do. And so I appreciate everybody's willingness to work with us and being great supporters of our athletic programs and letting our kids do their thing. So thank you very much. With that being said, like I said, the awards are back there. Stop by to pick up your letters, order your sweatshirts. I ask one favor, though, to you student athletes that are ordering sweatshirts. Don't tell Butch what your size is, all right? He'll probably write down the wrong thing. He can't here too well, all right? So wait until I get back there. Anything else he can handle, but don't let him do sweatshirt sizes, all right? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the spring.